In a Blaze exclusive, Blaze investigative journalists Steve Baker and Joe Hanneman revealed that the Pentagon approved the use of directed energy weapons on rioters in June of that year.
What if the invisible world around you is not as harmless as you've been told? Every day, human beings are surrounded by signals, waves, towers, satellites, and AI systems, and devices we barely understand. Thousands of people across the world claim they are being targeted by microwaves, directed energy weapons, or sonic frequencies. Others believe 5G towers, satellites, and Havana Syndrome-style technologies are responsible for their recent physical reactions.
And I think that the most fearful of them all now are some of the RF or microwave type transmissions. These are 74 gigahertz beams that they can aim at somebody. They can talk to you inside your head, make you think that you're hearing voices. They can also attenuate those frequencies to such a way that it resonates with different parts of your body. Different organs resonate to different frequencies. Just like your truck antenna resonates to AM and FM radio signals, our body, whether it's the lungs, our heart, our brain, different folds in our brain can resonate at different frequencies, and as a result of that can create different reactions from the victim or the intended target. And the most I'll just say that the thing that I'm most curious about is if it is being used, and if this technology is being used in other riots around America, were they being used on January 6th?
These people are being tormented in ways the average person would never believe. They can't sleep, they can't concentrate, and worst of all, they can't tell anybody for fear of being labelled crazy. These victims are usually characterised as fanatics or people looking for attention. Most of these claims go unproven, but many are being studied and revealed that something strange is going on. A physical reaction when these folks are around 5G towers or are in areas known to have large data centers.
The United States secret weapon that isn't so secret anymore. The Department of War posting this on X today, writing, quote, "Yes, the Department of War has directed energy weapons. Yes, we are scaling them. These weapons were claimed to be used in the capture of Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela." The White House press secretary posting an account from a Venezuelan security guard protecting Maduro, revealing how American forces wiped out hundreds of fighters using a technology unlike anything he had ever heard or seen.
I began to discover that there were new types of systems that I was not aware of that possibly could be used to both control crowds as riot control, but also had other uses to move people in ways that maybe the American public are not aware of. We've heard about the Havana Syndrome. That's been around for years. Catherine Herridge, just a week or so ago, had a big reveal. She had a CIA whistleblower come forward.
If nothing else, the fear and the anxiety is real. The feeling that something unseen is pressing against their mind, their body, and their soul is real and is happening to tens of thousands of people in 2026. As Christians, we should ask a deeper question. Is there a dark spiritual force using physical technology as a tool against us? Is there a spiritual evil that hides behind the chaos, confusion, and fear that has suddenly become a known attack? This has become such a widespread issue over the past couple years that science now has names for this. They call it electromagnetic hypersensitivity, or IE-EMF, a condition where people claim everyday electrical fields, wireless signals, and microwave frequencies are affecting their bodies and minds. The world knows that certain programs exist for the sole purpose of targeting individuals, crowds, and even countries.
A video that Julio Rosa, our own correspondent, took in Kenosha back in 2020 of an actual audio device, an audio energy weapon, blasting at what they call super audio levels to clear crowds out. There are microwave versions of that they can blast at you and make you, for a 2-second pulse, it makes your skin feel like you're on fire and you run away from that. Those are the very basic things that we've seen around for a long time. Those are not science fiction. You can actually go to YouTube and watch DOD sponsored videos of the use of those types of weapons.
There was a weapon used, a sonic weapon, that took out many of the Cuban bodyguards that were used to defend Maduro. Lots of people saw the details about that weapon and were concerned. Is that something that Americans should be afraid of, something the United States is combating?
Yeah, something I don't want to Nobody else has it. We have weapons that nobody knows about. And I say it's probably good not to talk about it, but we have some amazing weapons. That was an amazing attack. Don't forget, that house was in the middle of a fort, an army base, a big one, a lot of soldiers, and they came in and they did their job. We lost nobody.
Now, the United States leads in the overall development of this technology. Unclear when it may be used next.
HARP, satellites, drones, radar arrays, military bases, DARPA programs, intelligence agencies, spy planes, crowd control weapons, electromagnetic pulse devices, active denial systems, and classified directed energy programs are real. The question is it just military use, or are civilians being used as experimental guinea pigs?
Now, the one that was used there, the IG report actually says that it does not know what other capabilities that particular weapon had, but we know through our sources that they contain both what they call super audio and sub audio. Now, on sub audio settings, it can actually agitate, drive people crazy. They're the only ones they actually hear it in their ears or in their head themselves. Some people call it the voice of God weapon. There's all kinds of names for it, but there's so many different arrays of this technology.
The Bible tells us we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, rulers of darkness, and spiritual wickedness in high places. So whether the weapon is a tower, a satellite, or an algorithm, it's a tormenting force whose goal is always the same: to steal your peace, distract your focus, and fill you with fear.
But over the years, they've got much more sophisticated and much more miniaturized to the point where they can carry them in backpacks now. So they have backpack size, and what some of these special operatives have described to me in great detail are what they call agitation weapons. And this is the thing that we fear the most, is that these weapons that we know have been used overseas in military and by the CIA in operations to create color revolution, to create riots, to create confusion in hot spots around the world, that some of these devices may now be being used here.
If you are one of the thousands of people who are experiencing this recent phenomena, then you need to realize that you are not alone and powerless. You are not forgotten, and you do not have to live in terror of what you cannot see. Do the research, ask questions, and share your experiences with others, even if it feels uncomfortable, because you never know how many others are going, though the same thing, and are just as hesitant to talk about it. Pray without ceasing. Put on the full armor of God. Because the real war has always been spiritual, today we have other scientific words for it. But the attack is the same.